Good morning. If you are wondering what national holidays are happening today, guess what? You have come to the right place. Hi, I am CK, your host, creator of CK's Antics, and every day I'll be uploading a video telling you about the day's national holidays. So today is September 28th, Monday, year is 2020, and hopefully I will tell you about something new today and a holiday hopefully you may want to observe. And with that, let's get started. So, first up, let's just tell you about the 4 national holidays that are happening today. We have National Drink Beer Day. Now, I don't mind a beer, but if you are not of age, please do not drink until you are of the appropriate age. And next up, we have National Neighbor Day, National Sons Day, and finally, World Rabies Day. So let's find out about beer. Now, it is National Drink Beer Day, but I want to give you a couple interesting, or at least what I find are interesting facts about beer, and then we're going to talk about what I like in terms of beer. So first up, beer probably dates all the way back into the Mesopotamian era. Even though there's nothing written down that historians can find, they do believe the Mesopotamians did drink some type of beer. However, the Egyptians are the first to actually have recorded on paper, actually on papyrus, a beer recipe. Now, as the beer grew and traveled, eventually it made its way into Europe, and that's where the German monks got a hold of it and became the beer master crafters. They truly did. And the beer that you and I drink today is probably the closest to the origins of what the monks created in Germany. Now, American beers are a lot different. However, German beers and European beers are very restricted, especially German beers. They have a very strict limit to how many ingredients go in their beer. I believe it's 4. And of those ingredients, they even have a specification of the type of ingredients that can go into beer. I have lived in Germany, and I can tell you, even though I'm not a big beer drinker per se, I definitely enjoy German beers or European beers over American beers, as well as, actually I've lived in Japan, I like Japanese, I just basically like foreign beers over American beers in general. Now, when it comes to dark beer, light beer, fruity beer, or kind of anywhere in between on that scale, I'm more of an amber beer. I cannot drink Guinness. I have tried. It's just not a good taste for me. I don't like it. Now, there is one dark beer that I had, and it was actually in the Czech Republic when I was visiting, and it was actually a Budweiser that I had, and was really, really good. It was a dark beer, very similar in color as a Guinness, but it didn't have that thick, tart, like hard to drink, I guess, taste or texture that Guinness has. So I was actually surprised that I enjoyed that beer. But for the most part, when I've tried darker beers, I just am not a fan of them. So I'm more on the amber side of a beer. I don't like a light beer. This idea of all these beers that are coming out with less and less calories. Honestly, listen, if you're that worried about watching your calories, here's my tip to you. Either don't drink the light beer, because it's just really watered down beer, or work a little harder that day and give yourself a treat and drink a true beer. I'm sorry. Now, fruity beer is okay. I do like fruity beer. I'm not going to give fruity beer a hard time, because actually fruity beers are pretty good. And when it comes to craft beers, I do enjoy craft beers as well. But when I have to choose, or when I get to choose, I will more than likely choose a foreign beer over an American beer or even a craft beer. Now, I wouldn't mind dabbling in doing my own brewing at home. If you brew at home, please let me know how it goes, what you like about it, what you don't, and how long you've been brewing your own stuff at home. Also, if you're a Guinness fan, here's a book I recommend. It's called The Search for God in Guinness. It's by Stephen Mansfield. It's a really, really good book. I have it on Audible. I find that the reader was really, really good. It's a very interesting book, and it really is just about the history of Guinness. And if you are truly a Guinness fan, I think you would enjoy this book. But if you like beer in general, you like history of beer, then I recommend you check out The Search for God and Guinness. Now, let's talk about some other beer facts on this day. Here are your top 50 beer-loving states. Are you a resident, or did you grow up in one of these states? I'll read them for you because this probably is pretty tiny on your screen, especially if you're looking at it from your mobile phone. So at the very top, we have Massachusetts at 51%. And reading on down the list, we have Missouri, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Arizona, New Jersey, Virginia, Maryland, New York, and finally Colorado coming in at 43%. The two states in the 50% are Massachusetts and Missouri. So everyone else after that is 49% and down. But yeah, are you a member of any of those states? And if you go out to drink with friends, beer is the preferred drink when going out. 36% of folks surveyed, I think they surveyed about 2,000 folks, 36% of them have chose beer. Surprisingly, in second place came margaritas. Yeah. And then wine, followed by cosmopolitans, and then finally gin and tonic. I was surprised that wine came in second. And I also think this crowd has to be a younger crowd because there's no mention of, a more sophisticated palate with, one, wines not being a little bit higher, and two, no mention of whiskey or bourbon or any of those kind of harder but more sipping type drinks. Those are what I would prefer to choose if I were to go out and have a drink with my friends. But I digress. Let me know, what do you choose when you go out with your friends? And then next, we're going to talk about National Good Neighbor Day. So in the early 70s, Becky Matson of Lakeside, Montana, created this day, National Good Neighbor Day. So if you want to talk about this day in the social media realm, use the hashtag Good Neighbor Day. Now, here is something interesting that I found while looking at these holidays, and that is in 1978, President Jimmy Carter issued Proclamation 4601. I'm going to read it for you, and I think on this day, today, I urge you to consider his words about this day. As our nation struggles to build friendships among the peoples of this world, we are mindful that the noblest human concern is concern for others. Understanding love and respect build cohesive families and communities. The same bonds cement our nation and the nations of the world. For most of us, the sense of community is nurtured and expressed in our neighborhoods, where we give each other an opportunity to share and feel part of our larger family. I call upon the people of the United States and interested groups and organizations to observe such a day with appropriate ceremonies and activities. And I urge you, and I challenge you on this day, especially with everything that is going on right now in our world, in our current state, and especially in the United States, to take these words to heart and truly be a good neighbor in your neighborhood, in your community, and just try to get to know each other and be a good neighbor. All right, next. It is National Sons Day. So anyone out there that has sons, make sure you call them up, let them know, especially if they're grown and out of the house. And if you have sons still living at home, that you let them know that they are extra special on their special day. And finally, we have World Rabies Day. Here's a couple interesting historical facts regarding World Rabies timeline. So in 300 BC, Aristotle wrote about rabies. In the 1700s, Europe tries to eradicate rabies. by destroying all stray dogs. Ooh, to fight the virus. That's a little rough. And in 1885, the first vaccine was developed. And in the 1920s, the vaccine comes to America, and widespread adoption of rabies vaccine soon occurs. So those are your national holidays. I hope you found something interesting in today's national holidays, Monday, September 28th, 2020, and you will take some of these lessons learned, especially about World Good Neighbor Day, and carry those out today, especially being the fact that it is Good Neighbor Day. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another round of national holidays. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.